Today we are discussing a very important topic, which is the relationship between Iran and US. So, in recent period, we are watching and analyzing that there are tense relations between Iran and US. And today, on 20th of April 2020, when we are amid COVID-19 tragedy, but before 17 hours ago, or before 1 day ago, before 2 days ago, there are the tense conditions which are going on between US and Iran. If we see before 17 hours ago, Iran warns US Navy over Gulf incident. Iran is warning to US Navy. And secondly, Iran shows off drone that can reach Israel. Threats increases. That Iran is showing that they have developed a drone which can even reach to Israel, which is also, we know, ally of US. So if there is threat to Israel, then definitely it's threat to US. And in the same time, Iranian army acquires combat capable drone with 1500 kilometer range. So all these are the developments which are going on in the relations between US and Iran. So if we go with the timeline with the relationship between Iran and US, then we know that there was once a Shah who was the, you can say, representative of Iran. He was a close ally of US. Shah, who was the close ally of US, the internal revolution of the Iran reached to very much against the Shah. So Shah flees to US and in January 16, 1979. And many critics call Shah as puppet of the US and UK. So now with the flee of Shah, the new regime started in US, and Ayatollah Khomeini, he was in exile for 14 years, and he returned back to Iran on February 1, 1979, and in April 1, 1979 itself, Iran became a theoretical republic. From here, the relations between Iran and US got tensed because the relationship and what Khomeini thinks, it was against the US. He never understood as a close ally to US. So in 2005, Ahmadinejad became president of Iran, and in between this period, Khomeini remained the center power of the Iran. Now, in Jan 15, 2013, Hassan Rouhani was elected as the president of Iran, and September 27, 2013, Obama called Rouhani. Now, there was a contact between US and Iran first time since 1979, and both discussed Iran's nuclear program on the call. Through Jan 2014, there was a starting of nuclear deal reached out, and it was a good deal for both the point of view of US and Iran. And after that, they have ended with the deal that US will lift some sanctions against the Iran, and Iran will stop its nuclear plant and nuclear missile program, ballistic missile programs which are going on, that will be under surveillance of US, and means basically there was an agreement that they will Iran will not do any research in that nuclear area. Now, what the problem that in May 8, 2018, the agreement which was done by Obama while he was the president of US, it was withdrawn by the President Donald Trump, and what he announced that US will withdraw from the Iran nuclear agreement. Since that time, there are problems which are tensed, and on December 31, 2019, US embassy was attacked by the Iran-backed militia in previous weekends, and after that, Jan 3, 2020, US killed General Soleimani, who was at the Baghdad airport, and he was killed. After that, we are watching that there is a war going on between Iran and US. There is like civil war. Now, if we go with the part, now the roots of the latest Iran-US crisis is, I have already discussed it. It started since 2018 when US President Donald Trump walked away from the Iranian nuclear deal and refused to agree with the conditions which was consented between Barack Obama, then president, and Iran. Now, these both nations' relations appear to take a dangerous turn on this Monday also, when the Trump administration announced the deployment of 1,000 additional troops and extra military resources to the Middle East. Now, if you go to go back in 2018, then what is the Iran nuclear deal? It's a deal that Iran agreed to control its nuclear powers in 2015, and deal struck with US, UK, Russia, China, France, and Germany. And under the what we call it JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, in which Iran agreed to significantly cut its stores of centrifuges, enriches uranium and heavy water, all key components for nuclear weapons. So whatever the necessary part which is required for nuclear program, that will be controlled by the Iran. And the JCPOA established the Joint Commission with negotiating parties all represented above to monitor implementation of this agreement. Now, if we go to the basis of this deal, then the question arises: why Iran agreed to this deal? Because we know there are before 2015 there are tense relationship going on between US and Iran. So it was a peacefully the best deal of that time, which was beneficial not only for the Iran but for US also. Now we will analyze why Iran agreed to this deal and why US pulled out this deal. It had been hit with devastating economic sanctions by the UN, US and the European Union that are estimated to have cost in tens of billions of pounds a year in lost oil export revenues. Basically, there were economic sanctions was imposed by UN, US, EU, European Union, or it was costing a huge economic loss to Iran due to these sanctions, basically economic sanctions. Billions in overseas assets had also been frozen, and whatever the accounts they had, they were frozen. Now, question is that why US pulled out this deal? Trump and opponents to the deal say it is flawed because it gives Iran access to billions of dollars. That it, if through this deal the sanctions were which were imposed initially by this deal, it was get over, and it gave access to Iran economically, and through this Iran became economically sound because these economic sanctions were released. But doesn't address Iran. Now we come to the basic question: why the Trump has pulled out this deal? So this is the reason given that it fluid because it gave Iran access to billion of dollars. Doesn't address Iran's support for group the US considers terrorist like Hamas and Hezbollah. That Iran is not cooperating. That what the effort of US is, what are the efforts of US is to combat the Hezbollah and Hamas and other terrorist activities. They note it also doesn't curb Iran's development of ballistic missiles. That they impose allegations on Iran that Iran is not controlling its development of ballistic missiles, and deal phased out by 2030. They say Iran has lied about its nuclear program in the past. That Iran is lying, and Iran is developing nuclear program. So by these allegations, Trump has refused to go ahead with this agreement. Now what will be the implications of US sanction on Iran? This is also very important, that other countries have also promised to uphold it, but their ability to do so will depend on how their companies can be firewalled from US sanctions if they continue their engagement with Iran. The sanctions often referred to as secondary sanctions, which primarily target non-US companies engaging in business in or with Iran entirely outside US jurisdiction. Now, what was the significance of Iran nuclear deal? The Iran deal, despite its shortcomings, was a shining example of the capacity of the world power to come together and sort out the complex issue diplomatically. What I have told you initially also, that for the peace point of view, this deal was very important. Next point is saying that it assumed great significance given the recent wars and chaos in West Asia. It should have set a model in addressing out nuclear crisis, other nuclear crisis, because it would have a good example to the countries who are developing these nuclear programs. Iran deal and other diplomatic achievements is necessary to convince countries like North Korea that is possible to create security without acquiring nuclear weapons. So now we are watching that North Korea is also saying that he is developing that nuclear weapon, So if this type of nuclear weapons will be developed, then it will be very inversely affecting the peace of the world. So the deal is important to ensure the international nuclear non-proliferation regime and peace and stability. Now, what are the global implications between this because of this clash between US and Iran? So global implications will be that first of all, downtrends in global economy, because the sanctions will be imposed and economically Iran will be affected by it. Fuel prices would reach high points. Iran may block Strait of Hormuz, which is strategical point for global trade, and economies like India, China, Russia will definitely suffer because it also provided airspace to US, and US has cancelled airlines from US to India because they pass over Iran, which would affect airspace industry. These are the global implications. And now what is the impact on India? Now in India and Iran relationship are downward because India is having good relations with US. So if considering this relationship, this way, if India has good relationship between US, then definitely it will impact, I will say badly impact on Indo-Iran relationship. So it's in the downward trend. Oil supplies are reduced to India. Definitely, India is good importer of oil to Iran, but now it has reduced the supply, and Iran is not in favor of floating gas fields to India in recent times, so it will badly affect the Indian companies. Mostly India's relationship with US might be the region of this, definitely, because the relationship between India and US is the region of this downwards. But now if we can conclude that, then we will find that India is in a better position, having been forced to diversify its crude supply base, because India has other countries also from which it can import the oil and petroleum, and it may impact on Char-Bahar port project if US impose more sanctions. We know that India is developing its port in Iran, and if there will be more tense conditions between US and Iran, then definitely US can impose more sanctions, and if US will impose, then definitely it will impact Indian effort on Char-Bahar, and it will impact India's balance in the complex West Asia region. So if, while we are concluding, then I will say that it's a good point to discuss that for India point of view, these relationships should be developed in a good way, not only for Indian point of view but global point of view also. And if there will be peace, then definitely it is good for the world. So, thank you.